All right, second walk today. Took a little break. We got a nice little sunset going here. Let's hang out right here for a couple minutes. Wait for some people to join. Might head back down towards Bellagio, I think. Maybe check out the conservatory again. See what's going on with the sunset, how it looks in the sunset. Murakami, what's going on? How are you? Thanks for that little tidbit of information. It's starting to pick up. The wind is starting to pick up again down here. Look how nice that sunset is behind the Hard Rock there. That's looking really cool. Welcome in, chatters. We are on phase 2 of our walk. We had a good walk, the first walk. Did some fun stuff. So we're gonna head back down the strip. I want to check out the Bellagio Conservatory again and check it out as the sun's setting. It was kind of bright in there earlier. I like the middle of the night for the spring display a little bit better, tell you the truth. So we got all these. Get over to the island here. Look at that. That's a nice sunset there with the Hard Rock guitar. Yeah, I think the first stream that we did earlier today was actually really fun. Maybe not so fun on my pocket, the $40 loss in the pop-up casino down there at the Tropicana site, the A's stadium. But it was fun nonetheless. Welcome in, chatters. Let's see. It's getting a little bit crowded. It's what time is it? 6:30? 6:42. So I guess we have people coming out, walking, going to get dinner. The wind is picking up, definitely. Nowhere near as windy as it was yesterday, but who knows what the night holds. I'll probably only be on until about 8 o'clock now, and then I think that'll be enough streaming for the past 2 or 3 days, right? Or, well, 2 streams yesterday, right? Was it? No. Yeah, it was 2 streams yesterday, I think. So you can see a little bit of the curved glass right there in the bottom left corner of the Hard Rock guitar. That's going to be pretty neat when they get that all glassed in right there. So let's start heading back down. I just realized on the last live I forgot to put our little watermark down the bottom. I'm kind of liking that. Now, how do you guys like the thumbnail that we have today on today's live streams? There's a new style I was messing around with to see. I kind of like it. I mean, I don't know though. All right. So when the strip is crowded and it is sunny, I did a video, walked through Casino Royale, and the casino floor has a pathway that runs parallel with the strip. And here, you know, I can show you right now. Let's go in, right? So if you just duck in these doors when it's hot out, you can actually walk through here and You're going to be walking parallel with the strip. So when you walk through here, you can beat the crowd a little bit if they're walking slow in front of you. And you can beat the heat because it is nice and cool in here. So you just stay to the end of the slot machine. See, there's the strip right there through them doors. And then when we come out here, we're going to be right where the McDonald's and the Panda is. So, and then you can do the same thing when you walk through Harris. Bill, what's going on? Alan, we are back, buddy. So, well, you can beat some heat and beat some of the slow moving people if you get caught up in the crowd right there. So, I got another. I took a little break right there in between these live streams. I grabbed myself some water, sat down, relaxed, charged up a little bit. So we should be good for a little bit. We got a nice sunset right behind the Mirage, the old Mirage and the Hard Rock. So we're gonna cross here. We're gonna beat some of that that cattle chute, that overhead sidewalk protection that makes it difficult to navigate around the Link Promenade. So we're gonna go cross right here over to Caesar's Forum shops and walk on down to Bellagio. So that lady right there just pushed me. She's like, hello, still in a crosswalk. I hope she just you were playing your slot. Did you have a better some better luck on your slot machine than I had down at the Tropicana? Tell you what, 2 quarters at a time actually goes takes a little bit of time to run through 40 bucks. You have to pay yourself. Nice. So we got a nice little crowd with us here now. It should make people feel like more like it's like Vegas back in the day, back when there was like 1 million people on the strip all at the same time. Yeah, I did enough gambling down at the little pop-up. That was fun. I'll clip that out and make a little video of it. You know, I've never played in a little pop-up casino like that before. You know, that was neat. You know, it's like a regulatory thing, the lady was saying as we were leaving. I asked her if they like had plans on the next one, and she's like, no, just gotta stay in compliance. So I wonder what they're gonna do right there on the link, because see where it's all the different colors? That's where the disco show lights were and all that stuff. So they're gonna have to like remodel right there. I wonder what they're gonna put in there. It's like, what? Or if they're just gonna go back to like the regular link facade there. Did I fool anyone today? I fooled myself, James. I fooled myself thinking we were gonna go down to the old Tropicana pop up and become millionaires with my 40 bucks. So yeah, we didn't do all that well. That's the lady on the mission. She's the one that pushed me back at the, like bumped into me. I don't want to say push, bump, but whatever. So they are doing the LED screen over at the Link Promenade, and they're doing a lot of work on the Category 10, the Luke Combs new restaurant. So they have a lot of scaffolding up over there. So it just bottlenecks everything. We'll walk up here and I'll zoom a little bit. And you can see across it all that scaffolding that they got up. So it kind of like forces you kind of into the Link Promenade. Pretty old now. I think it's like 30 years old, 40 years old. So we're going to check, you know, I think we're getting a pretty decent crowd out here lately. So hopefully the numbers continue to go up like they did in February. So February was, what, the first month that the tourism numbers were up in over a year, right? So, which is good. Let's keep that trend going. It's the story of your life. What? You're gonna hit the millions, Alan? One of these times, man. Next time. Next trip's your trip. What really starts your blood boiling? 212 degrees. That's a good dad joke. I like that one, James. That's funny. Now, is that factually true, James? Does blood boil at 212? Does it boil at a lower temperature? I don't know. Because not everything boils at 212, but this makes me think sometimes. I don't know. I like a good dad joke. Hey, when Reverend Rob comes in, we'll have to use that one on him. He loves them. So we can see the wind. You can see the fountains here when the wind's blowing the fountains around a little bit. Jay uses them in her classes too, so maybe we'll pass that one along to Jay to use in her class, one of her classes. All right. Oh my God. It's definitely not as windy as it was yesterday, and we never got the rain last night. That 20% rain turned out to be, just like I said last night, almost a 0% chance in Vegas. Now, around 2:30 in the morning, I got woken up because we have some pine trees, believe it or not, behind our house. And the wind must have been like just ripping, because a small pine cone, a couple small pine cones hit our windows and startled the dog. The dog kind of let out a little bark, woke me up, and I turned the cameras on, and I could just see the trees in the back just whipping around. I was like, man, and then you could hear the wind. So Vegas gets extremely windy. Once like you get the wind coming through the mountains, it gets into the valley and it just whips across the valley. So we're gonna go check out the Bellagio Conservatory, because I think I mentioned it, the dates have changed. So we'll do a little piece. We'll do like a in-stream video that we can clip where I talk about the dates changing. So I'll just make a little in clip right there. So who's got some trips coming out here? Oh, it's the Mighty Bull. What's going on, buddy? So who's got a trip planned to Vegas anytime soon? I know Alan does. I'm trying to think who else I've seen in here today that's in the chat right now that has a trip planned. Run up the steps. There we go. You can see the wind whipping around these trees right here, right now. So has anyone ever been out here in one of these like really bad windstorms that we get? Like been caught, we're like in a sandstorm out here. Pricing flights today, hopefully May. Nice, Nikki. So have you noticed have the flights increased a little bit because of gas prices? Not soon enough, right, Alan? I remember back in 1997, me and my buddy Joey, we were walking from my apartment over at Twain and Swenson up to the Strip, and a sandstorm came through. There was wind advisories, all that stuff all day. But you know, we're 21 years old, we're indestructible. We decided we're walking to the Strip. And this sandstorm came through, and it was pelting us with little rocks, little bits of gravel and sand. Like we got up to the Strip, we had like dirt in our teeth. It was absolutely horrible. But you know, you're 21, didn't care. We just wanted to go up with our 20 bucks. You know, we had like $20 to put in the slot machines, and you know, a couple dollars to tip for the cocktail waitress. That's all we were looking to do. But the sandstorms out here are no jokes, especially when you're driving on the highway and the visibility gets cut down to damn near zero. The flight to Vegas, they were cheap. Flights back to Minnesota, they were insane. So what do you think, Nikki? You think you might postpone your trip, or are you just gonna pay the flight fees? Because I have a feeling that the price of flights is just going to go and continue to rise. So now we're in the Bellagio. We're walking over to the conservatory. Haven't decided yet. Yeah, I mean, that's always like one of the things, like, you know, when you're budgeting a trip to Vegas, you know, like how much do you want to spend on the travel? Because, you know, you're always like, well, you know, it could probably be cheaper, you know, maybe we'll, you know, but as you get closer to the dates, the flights are just going to get more expensive. So are you at that sweet spot yet where the price of the flight is the cheapest it's going to be, you know? So straight ahead of us is Pinky Ring, and that is Bruno Mars's club, right? Now the thing about Pinky Ring is when you go in there, you have to put your cell phone in one of those bags, so you can't like take any kind of recordings or anything in there. Now it's been said that Bruno does hang out in there from time to time. I think it would be a cool spot to check out. I'm a little shaky with the camera right now because I'm carrying this big ass bottle of water with me. This is like the second bottle of water I drank after my break. I drank a bottle of water, sat down, relaxed outside the Venetian by the canal. That's just a great spot to relax, you know. You know, the Bellagio is pumping the scent in today, Murakami. So I was just going to say something about that. You can really smell the great scent in the Bellagio, which is a really good scent. If you have a favorite scent, me and Jay, we are affiliates for Aroma Retail. So check out that link Murakami just posted. Use that promo code for 20% off your purchase, and bring your favorite scent home with you, right? You buy little, they have diffusers, they have the scent machines that you put the oil in and it aerates them. We have several of them. We have 2 portable ones. One we keep in our car, one we keep in our office space at home, and then we have our whole house one. So it does around 2,000 square feet. The one can do. Definitely, you know, like right now, our house smells like Aria. Our bedroom smells like Vidara, and our our car was smelling like Mandalay Bay. Mandalay Bay and Vidara are my 2 favorites. Jay loves Cosmo, Aria, and Shops. Crystals are her favorite 3 scents. What's your favorite scent of the hotels out here? So here we have the Chihuly glass ceiling in the lobby, right before you get to the conservatory. We're going to take a little walk through the conservatory. It's a little bit darker in there right now because the sun is setting. I like it when the sun's setting a little bit more than full sun. I think the colors just pop a little bit more. So if you know, you could go back and look at our live stream from earlier, but I just think the colors pop a lot better right now. So let me do this real quick. I'm going to give you guys an update here. Right over on the side is the new dates for the conservatory. Go ahead, take a screenshot of those. I'm going to pull that down now. And if you need those dates, I do have them posted on Facebook and also on TikTok. I am getting fancy, Alan. I've been spending a lot of time figuring out this Prism app. You know, I do pay for the premium version, so I might as well use some of the options, right? So it is. I think it looks magical in here. Hey man, for 10 bucks a month, you get some really cool options. You know, you can put the watermark. There we go. Murakami's putting the new dates up. It goes until June 6th. Summer will start 7 days later on the 13th and go all the way up until September 12th. And then the harvest, I believe, is 9/17 until November. I've drawn a blank. I thought I had them memorized in that short amount of time. Yeah, I'm gonna experiment with some other watermarks there, Alan. You know, maybe we can have some fun with them. don't know, you guys that have seen this during the daytime, now at sunset, and at night when it is completely dark, what is your favorite time inside the conservatory? My favorite time is definitely when it is completely dark. Way. They did a great job with the lighting, and I love all the different water features that they have in here this time around. Yeah, the colors really do pop at night. Wow, this is as close as we've gotten to the front since before it opened. Wow, there's like nobody at the front. Yeah, your likes Twilight. Nice. Let me zoom out a little bit, give you guys a little bit better of a view. Murakami likes the morning daytime. Okay. I like the evening nighttime. There's the Fortuna 2.0 right there. That little that little vessel in the water there. That's really not much smaller than the $3 million yacht that they drive around on the fountains, to tell you the truth. Oh, sorry. Mud, what's going on, buddy? This is part 2 of our walk today. That one's only 1.5 million. Yeah, because it's only half the yacht. There's the garden table. It looks beautiful in there, honestly. At $135 per person, you know, if I was looking for that type of experience, I think I would definitely do it. See, I think this stained glass window looks the best at night when it's lit up like this. Oh, you know what I forgot to do earlier? I forgot to show the Bruno Mars flowers wreath memorial. I mean, I think it's really cool. It's a really cool piece of art. I just don't know if it goes with this. Oh, Mud, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, they I was doing a little research on the Facebook, and it, you know, obviously we're trying to grow that, but the reviews actually do help with Facebook pushing your content out. So we really appreciate it. I know some people have said that the first time we showed it, they were like, "Is that Jimi Hendrix?" And no, it's Bruno Mars. He did a pop-up event, and that's actually, I think, the picture from his new album, right? He did a pop-up event here where he was handing out roses or something like that. I wasn't here, so but I heard about it, and that was like in the background. So, but then somebody said that reminds them of like when somebody dies and they make a memorial like thing out of. It is a little bit. It is a little bit weird if you ask me. All right, so we're gonna turn up here. Head up the other way. Now, you might recognize some of these hummingbirds and some of these other things from past displays. So they do reuse some of the display parts, but they don't set it up how it was in the past. You know, they'll paint the flowers a different color. They'll make the hummingbirds a different color. Ryan, what's going on? And no, that is not the carousel from the Wynn. We actually went to the Wynn during a live stream from the Bellagio here. We walked up to the Wynn to check that out. Make sure that Bellagio did not pull some thievery and borrow the Wynn carousel. Now, I gotta say, I kind of like the carousel at Wynn a little bit better. I saw that the other night. We just did a video. We walked from Treasure Island over to Wynn, and I think they need some flowers down on the bottom underneath the horses. You want to ride that horse? You go over to the horses, ho, over to the horseshoe. All right, now we're gonna head out of here. Like I said, I only have until about 7:45, 8 o'clock. So we only got about 35, 45 more minutes to go live here. And I don't know if I'm feeling like a coffee or not. I think I may feel like a coffee. Because the only coffee I've had so far today, well, besides my coffee at home, I had that Hello Kitty iced mocha. But now I'm kind of feeling like a hot coffee. So sweet sin maybe in the cards here. There's only so much water I can drink. I can pretty much drink unlimited coffee, but not so much water. But we got to see if we got some pushers, right? We're just gonna go do a little walk by the front doors and see if we see any pushers coming through. So far, no pushers. No pushers, no pushers. We'll walk with the camera facing backwards and see. You guys let me know if we see any pushers. No? All right. We'll go check up at the other end. Maybe we'll catch a show here too, right? I'm not sure. No, we won't, because the next show I think is at 7:30. This is such a nice walk too. Just walking down the side of the Bellagio. Yeah, the chat is a little bit quiet. Yeah, the pushers come out after dark, right? People are impatient. They just want to get by. You know, they want to get into the Bellagio. They want to get out of the Bellagio. Got a lot of people lined up waiting for the next show, which is in about 15 minutes. Jorge is back. What's going on, buddy? nice view of Paris over there. Just when people stop in the middle of walking, that's always great. It's the world famous, it's the famously, whatever it was we said last night. What did we say last night, George, was? Yeah, the freaks do come out at night in Vegas a lot of times, most of the time. But there's a lot of freaks out in Vegas during the day, too. The freaks really come out when you go up Fremont Street. That's 100% for sure. Still a little bit hoarse. I think I have honey at home. I'm gonna take some, when I get home, I'll have some honey to try to soothe my throat here, man, because I've done so much talking. We've done so many live streams. We did two yesterday. This is our second one today too. So once we get up here, I'm gonna have to put you guys back on the charger. I must have something running in the background. You know, let me do it now. I'm gonna hook you guys up. I'll stop right here for a minute. We're at 15%. Normally don't let it get down that far, but I don't have, there we go. I don't have the Tesla today, so I'm not so much worried about it not having that much battery. Because, you know, with the Tesla, I need to have my phone access my key. So I usually will end the live stream if I get down too far, so I can keep charging as I go to get back to the car. All right. Hopefully we don't get any more copyrights either. Yeah, I'm driving my badass truck. That truck's older than a lot of people probably we work with. I got a 2000 GMC Sierra, but it's only got 160,000 miles on it. So, and it's in, you know, it runs really good. So, you know, it's not the prettiest. It's not the prettiest truck in the world. Doesn't have air conditioning, you know, doesn't have power windows, power locks, you know. It's a beat up beater, that's for sure. It's an old work truck. So, but it made it from Philly out to Vegas, and you know what? It's running, so why would I get rid of it? No car, no payment, you know. That's like, oh yeah, and it's a Corvette crusher. All right, so you guys, so we work with a guy, loves his Corvette, right? He parked really close to me one day. When he got out, he bumped my mirror, my side mirror. Well, when I was pulling out of my spot, I'm looking in the mirror, but the way it was adjusted looked like I had a lot more room. Well, I didn't. And I drove over, my back tire drove over the front of his Corvette. And yeah, he was almost in tears when I called him. I said, hey man, can you come out to the parking garage? And he's like, what? What's up? I said, I just ran your car over. And he's like, what? What do you mean? And I sent him a picture. And he's like, comes running out. I mean, this thing, it's about a 15-minute walk from where, you know, to our parking garage at work. And he was out in like 3 seconds. He had like tears welled up in his eyes. He's like, oh my God, why we got it? I mean, so, you know, I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. I got insurance. Don't worry about it, right? So, I think next year it comes off my insurance. So maybe my insurance will drop a little bit. But a little word of advice to people, right? If you're gonna run a car over, do not run over a Corvette, okay? Like, pick something cheaper, like, you know, something that's not gonna cost like $20,000 to replace the bumper and the rim and I think the hood and repaint the car. Oh, and it was that like burnt orange color too. So it was like a really, that's a really hard color to match. So they had to like, I think, repaint the whole entire car. Stats, what's going on? Bottom of the eighth, Dodgers losing to the Guardians 4-0. Man, what a trash team. Hey, you know who won today? The Phillies. The Phillies won today. Walk-off single. 10th inning, I think it was. Bruce, yeah, no, listen, man, I have a Tesla, and we just recently got rear-ended on 15. But it's like mostly just like paint damage. I mean, I've got quotes, and it was a hit and run. So I have to pay the deductible, right? And I've gotten quotes of like $1,500, $1,800. I'm like, you know what? It's really not that bad. I think I'm just gonna buff it out, and it didn't mess with any of the sensors. I got that checked. It didn't mess with the sensors. But yeah, man, Teslas are an arm and a leg also to repair.
After this is the grand finale.
What these guys. All right, we may get some pushers up here, but we're gonna look on the inside. Get away from this loudness.
Volunteers, everybody turn around and face me.
All right, so we almost got a pusher. Almost got the pusher.
Now listen up, we're going over, not under. We're pretty small, you guys pretty tall.
I have we have the Model 3 extended. So my son was really pushing me to get the S model. I really like the S model myself, but it's our first electric, and I wasn't completely sold on whether or not I was going to enjoy driving it. So, you know, I didn't want to overspend. So I think on the next one we get, I will definitely get a Model S. Even if it's used. I just think that they're like my favorite style. I don't want a plaid. Birdman, you're not the only one that feels that way. Those guys are like super loud, man. It's like, but my son is, as soon as he gets his license, he's got enough money saved up that he basically could walk into a dealership with a cashier's check and purchase a used Tesla. So that's what he's looking to do. Yeah, no, it definitely could be exciting, but you know, You know what I love? Like the acceleration in a Tesla is, you know, unmatched. But that's not really what I enjoy the most. Like, I'm actually thinking about getting the self-driving, paying the subscription, like $100 a month for the self-driving, because I love just putting it in like autopilot, man. That I just love it. Being on the highway and just like hitting that button, you know, just gotta make sure you're paying attention. But like, it's just so relaxing, you know. Listen, man, a $10,000 car isn't what you get anymore, man. Like, you might as well just invest in, you know, he's got money to invest, and he's got money for the car that he wants. The kid is a hustler, and he makes his money, so I'm like, spend it however you want, bro, you know? Oh, you tried that? So Jay wants to get it for, well, one kid's turning 16, so she kind of wants to get it for him, mostly. I want to give it a whirl. There's a guy that I watch, I forget his name right now, on TikTok that does live streams and a lot of Tesla content, and he has the full size. He's kind of mixed on it himself. You know what I mean? That's the other kid. The 16-year-old that's just about to get his license, or his permit rather. He's the sports collector. Now, my other son bought a $10,000 car off our neighbor, right? Our neighbor, he was in the military, great dude. We were really good friends with him. And he was getting rid of his car because his wife was about to have another child. And my son was like, well, you know, how much would you want for it? And he was like, 10 grand, you know, I'll give it to you for 10 grand. The dealer said he'd give me like 12 on a trade-in, so I'll give you a little bit of a break, you know. Super nice guy, and he loves his car. It's a Honda Accord, but he's also now thinking about maybe trading that in and getting a Tesla. So we would have like 3 right, and that's awesome, man. That's awesome. A family that watches NeonCityWalkers together wishes they were in Vegas together. So, you know, and we've had to perform very little maintenance on that. The only other thing that my kids would maybe want to get would be a newer Prius hybrid. So, you know, it's all up in the air. But he's got money. My son's pretty smart with his money, so he's got enough money for the Tesla that he wants, and enough money invested that, you know, he's making some decent money. Yeah, he's only the owner, CEO of the company. He's not the one that invented the car. And you know what? When you buy used, he's already made his money off that car. You know, so whatever. You know, a decent car is you know, I'm not going to worry about somebody's political views and whether I agree with them or not to dictate my life. You know, boycotts don't work, all that bull crap, but we don't really get political here. So the new Prius it does look kind of neat, but I don't know, it's kind of plain looking too, right? he like I like the Prime, but you know, I do. The best Prius is the second generation Prius, like the 2008, 2009 Priuses. They were like the best. We had a third gen Prius, and we started to have nothing but problems with that thing when we got around 250,000 miles on it. So. And actually, the Prius isn't that great out here. Their batteries really do not like the heat. And the nice thing about the Teslas is, you know, their batteries are all cooled and have their own cooling system and all that stuff. So that's really nice. Yeah, I know. Oh no, 250,000 miles, right? That's when the problem started. I think I went to like 275 before we junked it. I got $1,000 on the trade-in though, so that was good. Listen, I'm gonna try to run my truck to like at least 300,000 miles. I only got 140,000 miles to go, so I got it 6 years ago. Off my dad gave it to me with 115,000 miles. So I've owned it for 6 years and put 45,000 miles, about 7,000 miles a year on my truck. So you get cringy when you approach 100, man. 100,000 miles on a car is like baby mileage, man. Change the oil, you know. What am I talking about? I don't think I've changed the oil in my truck in like a year. I just keep adding oil to it. I'm like, you know what? This thing's so old. The old Volvos were nice. I did like them. But if I could have any car, it would be like any car or truck. It would definitely be like a 1988 Chevy S10 long body with the square body, you know, the dimes. I'd get that. I'd get it bagged. I'd put like a high performance engine in it. Yeah, I gotta self-change it, Mud. I'm just lazy, dude. And listen, if I'm changing the oil in my truck, that means I can't be out here walking around with you guys. So you gotta figure that out, right? Now, we used to do all the oil changes in the Prius, and we do the oil changes on my son's Honda. Don't have to do no oil changes on the Tesla yet. Yeah, 200,000 I think is a good time to retire your car. So this is that overhead protection I was telling you. Yeah, Tom, some American cars 20 years ago, Ford started to kind of drop the ball with the Focus and all that stuff about 20 years ago. I think you're more likely to get around 200 with like a Chevy Impala or something like that from 20 years ago. We got moons coming up. Now you take some cars like some of them old, like a Ford LTD or something like that back in the day, man. Those things were tanks. Your VW, yeah, George got a VW bus he keeps telling me about. I don't believe him though. Miss Nevins, what's going on? Tuscany's your go-to. Nice. Gonna be here in 3 days. Welcome back, by the way. So So Jay used to have a Volkswagen Cabriolet back in the day, and we loved that car. And I gave it to my sister, whose friend's dad was like a mechanic or something. And I sold it to my sister for like $1,000. It needed some work, and her friend's dad scammed her, and so that we lost that car. So we're in Sweets Inn. I'm going to grab myself a hot coffee, so I have a hot coffee for the ride home. What's going on, man? So they got a new tiramisu jar that looks really good. So after I order my yeah, you're definitely going to have to get a Hello Kitty, Miss Nevins. And then make your way up here to Sweets Inn and grab yourself a some dessert up here. You want to see something cool, guys? I'm going to show you something cool. This is George's VW bus right there, all getting worked on. He's been working on that thing for about 6 years now. Eventually he'll get it done. He just texted me a picture of it. He showed it to me before. He's supposed to get it all fixed up, and we're supposed to take our wives out on a date, and he's supposed to drive. So so we are in Sweets Inn. You know what? I got a copyright in here yesterday. I'm going to turn the mic down a little bit just to try to overcome that. Alan, are you poured tonight? It looks like you poured a few drinks. Hello. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Definitely. There you go. All right, no problem. Nice. Because we're in here so much, every once in a while they give me a freebie, which is awesome. Oh, the macarons in here. Oh, thank you. All right, man, have a good night. We'll grab some macarons another night. They don't have the, I usually get the coffee or the chocolate macarons. What time we got now? 7:38. We can do like a real quick walkthrough here. And then then we got to head back up. Your autocorrect was on Spanish. Nice. It's YouTube.
Oh, YouTube?
Yeah. You want to say hello?
Yeah.
Say hello.
Hello.
Where are you guys from?
From California.
California? Nice. Having fun?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fun?
Oh, great night. Yeah, beautiful weather.
Yeah.
You guys have good luck out there. Oh, nice. I love the Volkswagen buses. So a good friend of ours back in Philly years ago, I helped him put together a Volkswagen bus a little bit. I always wanted one, but I never had a garage in Philadelphia. We lived in a row house, so I didn't have anywhere to actually like do that kind of work. You know, now what I had, now you guys can look this up, right? This car that I used to have, my mom put it in storage and just let this thing start to rust out. And finally, I was like, you got to do something with that thing. And I finally let her, my mom's kind of a hoarder, right? And so she's like, oh, I don't know. So I finally talked her into letting me sell it. It was a 1966 Volvo P1800S. This thing was like a bucket of like rust. The floors needed to be replaced. It had 40,000 original miles on it. Man, I love that car. And I really wish I had a spot to try to work on it, get it restored, but I didn't. So I ended up selling this rust bucket for about 2,500 bucks. So I was actually like pretty pleased with getting that kind of money. So if you've never seen a Volvo P1800S, Google it, man. They were sharp cars, man. Nice little Volvo sports car, man. Kind of looked like a Carmagia, a Volkswagen Carmagia, but way nicer. Do they close? No, they don't really close anything. I don't think Fashion Show Mall is closed. I don't think it is. There's a line outside the door at In-N-Out tonight. So this is where you got to sit and eat your In-N-Out. So that's why it's really going to be great when they open up that new In-N-Out down the south end of the strip. Going to have 2 spots right on the strip to go get your In-N-Out. I don't think they close. Do they close Fashion Show on Easter? I know we've had Easter dinner at one of the restaurants there before, and I don't remember if Fashion Show, the mall, was actually closed or not. I might be wrong, Mrs. Nevins. But this is a little quick walkthrough here because I got to get back up. I got to meet my son. He's getting off work around 8 o'clock, and I'm exhausted. I've been out here live streaming since about 3 o'clock. Took about a half an hour break, 40 minutes maybe. And I'm exhausted. Like 22,000 steps or so. About 25 last night. Any idea when that Bojangles? I do not know when that's going to open. They actually just recently put that sign up. So I'd say probably give it at least 6 months with the way they move out here. I mean, American, that used to just be there, just opened about a week ago at Treasure Island. And that closed down last September. So, you know, usually about 6-month turnover. So who knows? I mean, look how long the In-N-Out has taken to build. I'd say pretty decent crowd, right? If you think we've been seeing a decent crowd on this walk, why don't we all type a 1 in the chat, right? What do you guys think? Or just tell me if you think it's a decent crowd. So yeah, it's a decent crowd, or no, it looks dead. Yeah, it's not bad for a Wednesday. Hello. It's so funny. Some people are happy to be on, and other people look at you like, what are you doing? Yeah, I think it's not bad for a Wednesday. I think it's pretty decent. I mean, it's better than a lot of Wednesdays we saw last year. That's for sure, right? Robert, thank you. Thank you guys for answering, right? Because, like, you know, I was showing earlier, February numbers were up, right? It does not mean that we are, like, not still correcting, right? But February numbers were definitely up. put them on the screen right now so you guys can actually see. D, thank you so much for your support. I really, really, really appreciate it. So right there, we got the Vegas tourism numbers for February, right? And you can see what is down, right? And what is up. So, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, it's not 100% like, oh yeah, Vegas is all fixed, right? It is like more of a, you know what, maybe we're evening out, right? Maybe we're going to see some fluctuations in crowds. I think 2025 was a correction year, and 2024 was an anomaly. Yeah, 81% does sound good, right? But I was explaining earlier, Alan, sometimes that occupancy number can be a little skewed, right? Because you don't know how many rooms were out of service that could get you up to that number, right? So let's just say there's 1,100 rooms, 800 rooms are occupied, right? And all 1,100 rooms are available for rent, right? That number's going to be in the 70% somewhere, right? But if you had to take 100 rooms out of service, still rented out 800 rooms out of the 1,000 that were available, that's 80% occupancy. So it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? So time to go back to the Bally's pop-up. Nice, yeah. It's closed at 5 o'clock though. So tomorrow's the last day. So if anybody's out here and want to go check out the Bally's pop-up and go gamble on the old Tropicana site, you can go do that. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I really do appreciate that super there, D. Thank you so much. Angelica, what's going on? So how are comped rooms factored into RevPAR? So that was explained to me, and I don't think I got it quite good enough to explain it. Give me like a couple days, Bruce. I'm gonna go back and talk to the manager that I spoke to at work about that, right? So I think, you know, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I think that's not an available room for rent because it's comped, right? So it's just kind of taken out of, and it's also, you have your average daily rate. So, you know, if you have rooms that are going for $19.99, rooms that are going for $49.99, that all gets averaged in to the daily rate. So let me just clarify that before I start trying to explain it. You know what I mean? I don't want to give you guys wrong information. I always try to be as factual as I can. So, because that's something that I never really thought about until somebody else asked about it, Bruce, a couple months ago. So I will find that out for you, buddy. And I don't really want to dive into this and make this a lot of my content. I'd rather just casually talk about it in our live streams than start making videos, because when you start making those videos, like, you know, people start to respond a different way and they become very argumentative, and I'm not really looking for that. So I think the way we handle it in the live streams a lot of times actually work pretty well. You're not a fan of those chicks who smack you when you walk by. Sorry, not sorry. Well, I don't know if Jay's on or not, so I'm not giving my answer. If that gives you any inclination which way I'm leaning there. But it would be nice if they were doing a light test tonight. That would be really cool. Sweet Jimmy's a freak. All right, Alan, Sweet Jimmy's a freak. I gotta pull over for 1 second here. Yeah, so the NeonCityWalkers After Dark is a freak show of proportions. Oh, they're up there. You can see that one guy with a flashlight up in the Hard Rock right now. Probably doing some inspecting. Maybe they're working nights. I don't know.
Stay in the game longer because we instantly reimburse your first $20 of loss. Let me say it again.
The cricket noise is driving the boys back. So,
and available to download immediately
me and,
on any
well,
machine.
not me and Jay bought this little cricket sound maker that you like hide somewhere, and we set it off downstairs in the living room. So like every 10, 15 minutes, it makes this really high-pitched cricket sound. And it's been driving the kids nuts. So one of them was at work, didn't know about it all day. The other one heard it the first half of the day, went to work, just got back and he's hearing it again. And now the third one, when we get home, is going to be hearing it. So this is going to be a fun night with us. So, yeah, that's mean. You want the link for it, Alan, for your kid? What's the best liquor store on the Strip? I don't drink, but I do recommend that you go to like a ABC, CVS, or a Walgreens, and you're going to get the liquor, your beer, alcohol, adult beverages, whatever you call it, at a much cheaper price than a regular liquor store. That's 100% for sure. That's awesome. You know what? Maybe I'll slide it under his door tonight when he's sleeping. That'll drive him and his dog and cat crazy. You know what? Maybe we'll do a little video on them and we'll put the link from Amazon in the video, because we're affiliates for Amazon, but we don't really like hawk a lot of products because we don't want to be too like salesy. But I think this one might be fun. Maybe when we get home, I'll do a little short and I'll put the Amazon link in there. Click the link. If you purchase that thing, we'll get like a small commission, no extra price to you or anything like that. Oh, Alan, she's a sweetheart. I met her. She's very much like my oldest. You guys are... All right, so we're gonna wait here. I don't feel like walking all the way up to the overpass, the pedestrian overpass. So we're gonna go right here. We're gonna cross over. They all are, Alan. They all are. I mean, if you ever met my oldest, you'd be like, well, actually, you'd be like, wow, that's like the kindest, sweetest kid I've ever met in my entire life. Unless you're me or Jay. They got everyone fooled, that one. So the Hard Rock sidewalk is shut down. I don't know for how long. It could be 6 months, it could be a year, I don't know. So you have to cross here, and this can get pretty wonky at night, pretty crazy. A lot of the cars that are turning into the Venetian here, they'll run people down. We've had some pretty crazy interactions here at that intersection. So if you're crossing here, make sure you're really, really safe and only cross when you got the light to cross, all right? I don't want to see none of y'all get hurt. Or if you're really not confident in that, or you've been drinking a little too much and maybe wobbly crossing the street, I would walk up to the pedestrian overpass right up here that connects the Venetian to the other side of the strip by Treasure Island. So safety first, everyone, safety first. All right, so when we get up here at the light at Treasure Island, I am going to be signing off. I forgot to say cheers, everyone. Sweets in. They actually hooked me up tonight with this one. Totally unexpected. But that place is awesome. We go there a lot. They've made a lot of money off me. And but they are awesome people in there, and awesome coffee, awesome desserts. Definitely check that place out. So yeah, so go hit our link tree up. I gotta redo our profile here and put our socials and our link tree and all that stuff in our profile, so you guys can find us on the other socials. But we're basically Neon City Walkers across every single social, in one form or another. So I'm going to turn this around. So you guys, thank you all for joining us. It's a little bit fuzzy because I haven't wiped off the lens on this side. So thanks. 2 live streams today, 2 live streams yesterday. We've done a lot of walking, a lot of talking. I need to go home, rest my voice. I'll see you guys probably over the weekend. But in the meantime, I'll be posting a couple of videos, and I will be posting that short with the cricket sound. So thank you all. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me this afternoon. Have a great night.